guys, it's Gamer Ahmer here. So today, I scored a massive haul of vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys, along with some Bucky O Hare figures, some Toxic Crusaders, and some Masters of the Universe. So let's go ahead and see everything that I scored. So as you can tell, I scored a major lot of someone's vintage toys that they had from their childhood. All of these were scored for less than $200, and a lot of these have their weapons included. There was this whole bag full of weapons, and then of course I had to go through and try and match some up. So some of them do not have their weapons, but some of them might actually be in the bag right here. So I noticed as I was going through this toy lot that I saw some other characters as well from some different franchises. So I'm just still in shock, as I can't believe that someone just sold all of this. They were just looking to let it go pretty quick, and I'm just so thrilled because a lot of these I did not have in the collection. I did not have some of these little weapons included, and this is just so amazing. So of course we have some of these Masters of the Universe figures. We have this Mossman character, and it has this little flock detail. Definitely pretty creepy looking. So this one is pretty cool to add to the collection, as I did not have very many of these Masters of the Universe toys. And then we have a couple more. So here we have this Whiplash character. Looks like some of these guys may be missing some of their weapons. So this is still pretty cool though, because we have all of this stuff. Sometimes when you play with these toys when you're a kid, you tend to break off a lot of the extra pieces. Then we have this one from Masters of the Universe. Then we have this one from Masters of the Universe. This one actually rattles, so this is Rattler. So this one is also pretty cool. So this one definitely looks sweet with this little back piece as well. And a lot of these are from 1985. So this is just crazy that I was able to find these. And this one is just so cool looking that we have all of this stuff. And then this one, you just press the button and there we go. So this is the yellow version of this toy. Then on to some other figures here. We have a couple other franchises other than the Massive Turtles lot. We have some of these Bucky O Hare figures. So of course we have this Bucky O Hare, which is definitely a classic, definitely a fun one to have. The game on the NES is just so difficult. It's very challenging. Definitely a lot of fun, and I loved playing the series back then. I had quite a few of these figures growing up. And then we have this little figure right here. So this one actually came with the gun. So we have this one from the Bucky O Hare series as well. And then we have this one from the Bucky O Hare series. So we have this little toad right here. So this one is pretty sweet as well to add to the collection. And then we have all of these Toxic Crusader toys. So here we have a couple of these Dr. Kill-em-off. So here we have both of these. The one actually has a little back strap included with this little cape part, and this one does not have that, but they do have all of the arms. And I've noticed over the years, while trying to find some of these figures in decent shape, I've noticed that the little hands and arms just are kind of ripped off. I don't know what kids did back then, but usually mutilating all of these figures seems to be what happens. And then of course over the years you're just missing tons of these, and you don't see very many in such great shape. And then we have this little junkyard for Toxic Crusaders. So this one's actually really cool. Has this long tongue, just a lot going on, this wide mouth. So this is actually really cool articulation on this figure. Definitely pretty sweet. And this one has those bright and vibrant colors, very similar to these turtle toys, but of course this Toxic Crusaders. Then we have this guy right here. So this one actually came with the weapon. So this one has this included, and then we have this character with these two heads, looks like two bodies kind of morphed together. So this one is also from Toxic Crusaders. And then we have a couple more. We have this Psycho, right here, this one has all of this gold included. Looks like we might be missing a few pieces, but we have overall the main core of this character right here. Then on to this one, we also have this like radiation style. It looks like we're missing a little bit of some of the extras included as well. But overall, I'm pretty excited that so far I have some Masters of the Universe, some Toxic Crusaders, and some Bucky O Hare figures. So let's get on to all of these turtles. So we'll just try and power through some of them. I'm not going to know all of the specifics about some of these characters, as some of them are varying ages. We have some of the newer turtles, and then we have the older ones that I remember and that I played with. So here, this one is probably one of my favorites. We have this Make My Day Leo. So this one is actually really cool. This one is like this little police officer, has this belt, has these extra little weapons that just kind of slide into place. We have this little shield. We have this gun that says Make My Day on it. So this one is really sweet looking. Definitely pretty cool to find this one, as this is one that I've been looking for. I try to complete some sets here, and I try to complete some of the little subsets that are in these. And then of course we have some of these rock and roll turtles. We have both of these. I do have a full set of these upstairs in the little toy room. So this one actually says rock and roll on the back. It says Turtle Rocks. Then we have this one right here, which is pretty cool. It has these bright and vibrant colors on both of these. And then all together the set looks amazing. It comes with guitars and some extras. So these are actually really cool figures. So I was happy to go ahead and complete them. So these are now doubles in the collection. Then we have this one. This one looks like a little magician. So this one does have a little bit of splatter on it. I'm not really too sure if it's supposed to look like that or if the paint's just a little bit worn. Then we have this little rabbit that kind of pops out of the hat. So some of these are just so creative and definitely pretty sweet. So this one is from 1992. So I do not believe I've seen this one before or had it growing up. Then we have this guy. So this is part of those Universal Monsters for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys. We have several of them. I have a couple upstairs, but this one is made to look like Frankenstein. So this one is pretty cool, especially the entire set of these Universal Monsters. They are just amazing looking all together to have in a collection. Then on to these little guys right here. We have two of the same figure of these Napoleon Bonna frogs, but these ones actually have some weapons. They do have some different color variants on the figure itself. So this one kind of has a darker color with these spots, and this one's a little bit lighter. So I thought that I'd keep both of them in the collection, as I've noticed that with some of the little figures that we have, some have some different darker colors on them, some have some brighter colors. So I'm not really too sure why that is, if some are actually faded or if they were painted like that as later releases. Then on to this Baxter Stockman. We have this little figure right here. It comes with this little bug zapper thing as well. And then we have these back pieces, which are usually missing. It looks like a lot of the times these little wings and arms are just kind of broken off of the figure. So I was pretty excited to find this one, as it looks really awesome with everything kind of all together. Just looks like an amazing figure, and this paint is not messed up, so I was pretty happy to score this one. Then we have some of these little turtles here. We have this one where his head kind of pops in, and then you can go ahead and just squeeze the legs and it pops right back out. This one came with some of the weapons. It says Turtle Cola. And then we have this little pretty cool piece where if his head pops in, you can kind of use this to look out. So this is definitely pretty cool. And then we have this Casey Jones character right here. And it looks like we have a couple of the weapons included. So this one is another cool one to add to the collection, as I definitely remember having tons of these when I was younger. But of course, over the years, I believe that they either got lost, damaged, or I ended up selling them. So I'm glad that I'm able to buy some of these all over again to try and relive some of my childhood. And then we have some of these little sewer turtles where they have this big part on the back here. So these are pretty sweet as well. I know there are quite a few of them, so it looks like I have a couple to go ahead and complete the set. Of course, I don't have any of the extras of these ones, and I am missing one. So I'll have to try and find those and add them to the collection, just trying to complete some of these subsets here. And then of course we have this worm character. This one is really cool. It says Unsanitation Department, and then we have all of these little extras, and just their weapons are so cool looking as they have so much detail on them. This one is entirely made out of worms, and then we have some of these little extra pieces where it looks like worms are kind of coming out of this little mallet. Then we have some other items here. So it's definitely cool when you're able to go ahead and complete the turtles and complete the characters with adding these weapons. Then we have this guy who actually has this little piece that spins. So once again, there's a button, and then of course the back actually spins around. And then we have a couple little extras, but I believe we are still missing some things. Then we have some of these little sports guys. So this one would have been some sort of sport turtle. I do have some of these in the boxes upstairs, and I did have some of these growing up, but I don't have any of the extras of this, and I don't have the full set just yet. Then we have some more of these turtles here. This guy would have been awesome to have all of the extra pieces. He has this little disguise where he puts on these glasses with that big nose. So this one I still don't have complete just yet. Then we have some of these little turtle storage shell turtles. So here they just open up, and then you could go ahead and put some of these little weapons and things in the backs of the turtles here. So I do have a couple of them. I'll have to try and find others in the set, as I do have some extra of the weapons here. I just don't have the matching figure itself. And then we have some of these original turtles. This one is from 1988. So we do have a couple of these floating around. And then of course we have Wingnut. We don't have Screw Loose, and we don't have the back part, which I do have this figure sealed, but I would love to have this one just loose for its glory, because it has these back parts. It definitely looks like Batman, and this one would be such an awesome character to have on display with all of these back pieces like some of the others have. Would have these little wings, so this one would be definitely pretty sweet to add more of the parts or try and find one complete. Then we have this Muckman, and this one is missing a few pieces, but we have this little weapon that goes with it. We have this Super Shredder right here. This one is another one that's difficult to find all of these little extra pieces, as I've seen a lot of this armor and pieces kind of missing. We have this belt with this back piece. Then we have a couple other little smaller pieces that go with this character as well. So this one is definitely pretty cool to have. And I don't actually have the black variant of this figure, but I will still hold out trying to find some more of them. And of course you can't forget we have this Bebop and Rocksteady here. So this is definitely pretty cool to have both of these figures. Definitely a must. And it looks like some of the weapons are kind of thrown all together in here. There might be a couple more. So this is just a huge lot of turtles. So I'm still trying to piece together all of these different weapons that we have. And on to Dirtbag. So of course we have him. We have some of his extras as well. So this is definitely pretty cool to go ahead and complete this guy. And this is one that I did not have as well in the collection. So this one is pretty cool. And it still has the tail. I noticed a lot of these figures, usually their tails and stuff are broken off, as I've seen quite a few missing tons of pieces. Then on to this guy. This is one of my favorites, where it has all of this complete stuff to it. This is going to be Sergeant Bananas, and he just has so many extra pieces. We have this huge belt with bananas in it and some other fruit. It's pretty sweet looking. And then of course we have these little extra pieces. This gun has bananas on it with this little iguana, like lizard style. And then we have this little monkey. So this is definitely a cool piece to display all together. I just love the green on here. This is definitely one of my favorite looking characters that I have. So this one is pretty sweet to go ahead and complete and add all of the extras with it. Then we have some of these Splinter characters. We have this one which is flocked, and then we have this one which is missing some of the pieces on it. So I will have to try and find some of these complete, as I do have one that is sealed, one of the original ones. So it would be pretty awesome to go ahead and complete some of these loose. Just have all of their weapons, have the little clothing and everything else that comes with these. Then we have this Chrome Dome character. So this one is sadly missing one of the back pieces on here. This little chrome piece that goes on the back, like this side. Then we have this little belt. We have these little accessories that are included. So this one is pretty cool to go ahead and complete. But as soon as I find that little back piece, this won't be complete until then. Then onto the Scumbug, we have this character right here. Looks like we have a couple pieces. We have this little backpack, we have some of these little hoses, and then this little bug. So all of this together, you have this guy. It looks like we still might be missing a piece. I think that there are some more weapons in that bag that may actually fit with him. So this one's pretty cool. I always thought this one was creepy, as when it turns, its little mouth and jaw kind of move. So this one is definitely pretty creepy looking, but a cool one to have. Then on to this guy right here. So this one is kind of one of those vacation style turtles. Of course we have Mikey. He has this little guitar on the back here. Then we have all of these little extra pieces right here. So this one is definitely pretty sweet to have. Then on to the Shredder character over here. We actually have this pretty beat up looking character. Definitely missing some paint on here. Looks like he has most of his little pieces. He is missing one of the little armor pieces on his arm. Then onto this Rat King character. This one is pretty cool, as I think it has everything included. This little canister of milk with this cat. Then we have this belt, which looks like it has this little cat style ran over and flattened. So this is on the belt here. Then we have this little weapon. So this is pretty sweet to have this character in the collection. So I've seen a lot of these ones kind of beat up, but this one is the cleanest that I've seen with these bright and vibrant colors. Then we have some of these foot soldiers right here. So it looks like we have one complete set with the weapons. And then of course, it's always good to have a little army of these guys. So it looks like we have these armor pieces on here. Looks like one has a little bit of a darker symbol than the other one. So this is definitely pretty sweet to add these guys to the collection, along with all of these huge weapons that are included. Then a lot of these turtles, we actually have some of these newer style ones. So these ones aren't generally my favorite. These are from 2003 it looks like, and maybe 2004. So some of these are like those newer style turtles. I'm not really a fan as compared to these older style turtles. Then we have a couple more here of these newer style turtles. This one says 1993 on it, and this one, it's hard to tell. This one says, looks like 2000 and maybe 8. So some of these are definitely a lot newer. This one doesn't have much articulation on it, just kind of stands there. So I haven't really seen this style turtle before. And then we have this one as well with a really small head and then these legs, which kind of resemble some of the newer ones. This is 1996. So this one is just this large style turtle body with this smaller head. And then we have, of course, some of the classic older ones. So this one is going to be from 1988. And this one is also, this one says 1991. So of course now we're getting back into some of those older style turtles. This one I know is older. This one is the 1988, and this one has one of the weapons included with this little belt strap right here. So some of these are definitely pretty cool, and some of the earlier turtles that we would have. Then we have this Triceraton character, and I know this one I've seen a lot with the tails missing, where they've just kind of been broken off. So to see this one complete with both of these guns, we have this belt right here, just fits perfectly, and the tail is not missing or loose. I've seen several that are broken. And then we have this little scuba diver one, so this one's pretty cool. Doesn't have any of the extras and probably missing something on here, but it's still pretty sweet to have. Then moving back over, we have the Slash character. So this one is pretty cool. We have a lot of the weapons included, and I've noticed that with this character in particular, there are two different styles. So this one is this yellow bodied slash, and then I've seen some that kind of have this more orange color effect. So this one is pretty cool, as I do have the other one in the collection. Looks like we have all of these little extra pieces on the body, and there's even a little tail back there. Then we have all of these weapons with it. So this one is just so cool. I've seen people who make armies out of these. Just so awesome to have and to find all of these characters. On to this guy, we have this General Trog. So this one is pretty cool. This one has some bright colors on here, even though it kind of looks pretty dull with the brown and this gray. But here we have these bright colors of all of these accessories on him. Came with a couple of the weapons. I've also seen these ones pretty faded and pretty messed up as well. So it's pretty cool to find this one. And there's a little bit of articulation on this character. Then on to some more of these kind of samurai style turtles. We have this one with a lot of the armor on here. This one actually looks really cool, although it is missing the little piece that hangs down, this little sticker that would actually come with this figure. Then we have some of these turtles right here. This one also has some armor on, and this one is just plain and has a different style. So some of these are different years as well. This one's 1992 and this one's 1993. Then onto this Razar. So here we have this character. This one's actually really cool, and this one has this little chest plate on. I've seen some of these missing some of the other pieces. So this one is definitely pretty sweet, and it came with some of the weapons. This says RIP Turtles, and then here we have this little bug on top of this stick. So this one's pretty sweet to find. Then we have this little Space Cadet character with all of these weapons here. So this one's pretty cool. I've seen some of these with little helmets on, some of the space ones, but this one looks like it has most of the pieces here, some of the weapons. So this one is pretty cool. This one also has some bright colors all over it, and then this little sticker right here. Then on to some more turtles. We have this one from 1988, and we have this belt on him. Then we have this one, which is kind of one of those head spinning turtles. So you just press this button and the head will just continuously spin around. Then we have this one here. So this one is very similar to this one, but of course the belts are different colors. One is red and one is yellow. Then we have this Genghis Frog. So this one, we have two of these. And then we have this weapon along with this little shield. Then onto this little walkabout character, and then he even has this little guy with him. And then we have some of these other weapons included with this character, this pretty awesome style gun, and then we have this little boomerang. So this is definitely pretty sweet. I had this one growing up, so I really had a lot of fun with this character, and then this little extra guy as well, so this is pretty cool. Then on to this military style turtle. So this one came with the belt. I would love to add some of the weapons with it, as I've seen a couple different varying things. It looks like one of the weapons in this bag might actually go with it, as I've seen a couple different color style weapons. So I'll have to look into that more, but this one is pretty sweet looking with this belt that kind of wraps all around the turtle. And then we have over here this guy. So this little camel character is pretty sweet. It's like I have most of the pieces here. So here we have this character. This one sells for a little bit more, complete with all of these extra little pieces. So this is pretty cool to find and to have this one together, as I've seen some of these with the arms popped off, and this part at the bottom I've seen broken as it kind of swivels a bit. Then we have this panda, and this one actually looks like this one was heavily played with. So here we have a lot of these different pieces and these weapons, and then of course some of them look like they were sharpied. So it looks like whoever had this, they wanted to change the weapons from brown to black. And then I've seen these little pandas missing some of these armor places and parts all over them. So this is definitely pretty sweet to add. Definitely looks great with some of these other characters as well. And on to this Filet character. This one sadly is missing the arm piece. Like I was saying, a lot of these characters, I've seen them beat up over the years. I had a few turtles back in the day that lost some pieces as well. just while playing with friends and just kind of beating each other up with these. So this one does have this back piece on here, comes with one of the weapons, but sadly it is missing the arm, and this is one that I do not have complete in the collection just yet. And of course we have Usagi, and then we have the space one. So these are definitely pretty cool looking characters as well. And we have two different variants of the same character, so this one is pretty sweet. So I believe that's pretty much all of the figures here. Now I did actually, while I was on this big turtle pickups, I believe there's over 70 some characters, so I'll definitely have to get some close-up shots as we go along, and hopefully I didn't miss any here, so just go ahead and look at some of the overviews just in case I did. And then I saw this lot was posted pretty close to me, and it was only a few dollars. It came with this vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle plate. This is from 1989. This one's pretty cool looking. Definitely something that kids would have had back in the day and actually ate on. Then we have all of these different ornaments. So here it says International Silver Company 1990 Mirage Studios, exclusively licensed by Surge Licensing, made in Taiwan. This one has a little bell on it. This is all wood. It looks like it's kind of painted or printed on here. Possibly painted. And then we have all of these different characters. These ones are all kind of the same. So of course we're going to have the 4 turtle characters on here. And just this Mikey one is so awesome. And then we have this right here, which I wanted to go ahead and add as this. I'm trying to complete some of these little sets right here. So this is the Technodrome Blueprints. So some guy had a lot of these instructions kind of placed together. This one has this character on here, this little vehicle. Then we have this one, which is like another vehicle style. And then we have some of these as well. They just look so awesome, and they'll definitely help me as I go along and try and complete some of these. Then we have the Secret Sewer Map number 6. We have number 4 for the Secret Sewer Map, and then we have number 2 for the Secret Sewer Map. So all of these together, I'm just so shocked that I was able to find all of this, and then it even came with those suitcases as well. So now I get to keep some of those and go ahead and try and bundle out some of the doubles that I have in the collection. Just so amazing that I found all of these turtles. Everything here was just under $200. So we have those 2 suitcases, all of this stuff with the ornaments, all of these turtle characters, these different Masters of the Universe toys, Toxic Crusaders, Bucky O Hare, tons of weapons, and I'm just so thrilled because some of these are going to look great upstairs. I'll have to get some close-ups, and I'll have to go ahead and show off the upstairs room as I have been adding tons of figures and toys, just moving some of the newer gen systems up there, just putting some games and everything up there. So of course, let me know what your favorite was in this whole video. Do you have a favorite Turtles toy? Did you have some of these growing up? Did you have these Masters of the Universe toys? Do you still have them? The Toxic Crusaders and Bucky O Hare? Just let me know in the comments below. And of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.